Hey fam, it is Friday night, 6 p. Pacific. You've reached the end of the internet and now you are here with me for Love Line at Night with Heidi B. I am so happy to be back. Love Line at Night was on a little hiatus for a couple of weeks, but I'm back tonight with a topic that I think is going to be so interesting to have just a quick chat about. First of all, before we get into any of this, I want to tell you that you can always subscribe to my email list by heading over to HeidiBcoaching.com. When you sign up for my mailing list, that means you will automatically get my free webinar on people pleasing, and y'all know that we all need that. And it's not how you can become a better people pleaser, it's how you can quit people pleasing. So that's the plug for the beginning of the show. Anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about compromise and what that actually looks like in reality. So y'all know I posted on my grid today. On Fridays, I love to post on my grid pictures of me and my cupcake, my husband Jeff. So we have been married for just over 2 years. We got together in 2014, so we've been together for 6 years. One of the things that always makes everyone laugh about our story is that I had him write into our wedding vows that he would not expect me, that he would have zero expectation of me going camping. I'm an indoor cat, like 1,000% an indoor cat. It's making this COVID situation very difficult to be an indoor cat because everything, when we're indoors, we're like, trying to stay sheltered, stay in place, stay at home, minimize our exposure and our contact. And if we're leaving the indoors, then we're supposed to be going outdoors to like do anything socially distanced, but outside. And this indoor cat is really struggling to channel her outdoor cat to like get comfortable doing stuff outdoors this summer. So I had my husband 2 years ago write in his wedding vows that he would not require that I go camping. So he would know that I'm happy to be asked, but I'm usually going to say no. And so 2 weeks ago, he asked me if I wanted to go camping. And I said well, I just don't really know. And he actually said, I know I have it in our wedding vows. I know I promised you that I would not expect that we go camping, but I'm thinking that we could upgrade to a cabin. Well, this indoor cat was like, you had me at cabin. So 2 weeks ago, we went out to Settle Lake, which is Central Oregon, and we did get a cabin, and and we paddleboarded. We were able to stay 6 feet away from everyone. Just kind of a pro tip, we did go in the middle of the week. So we were there Wednesday, Thursday, left on Friday, just as it was getting super busy. But it's one of the ways, I love that story because it's really one of the ways that he and I have learned to compromise. And I actually can't even remember. I'm a little rusty I'm a little rusty on Love Line at Night, and I feel like I can't actually even remember if I told you guys that's the topic of tonight's Love Line. We're talking about compromise, and I actually really think that compromise comes down to flexibility. I heard it a long time ago. I feel like I must have heard this when I was working retail, but I'm not entirely sure. That compromise, you've reached a compromise when nobody's happy. And I just don't really know if that is in alignment with my philosophy of love and life. I do think that there's place for us to find compromise without finding ourselves in a spot where neither partner is happy, but it does require a lot of flexibility. So another example of me channeling my outdoor cat is that this weekend, Jeff and I are going whitewater kayaking, which again is like not anywhere near my indoor cat nature, but I really want to spend time with him and my family. And I also really want to try to be a little more spontaneous and adventurous. So even though whitewater kayaking is way outside my comfort zone, we are doing it in a way that is, again, socially distanced, very socially responsible. We're wearing masks while we're on land. The kayak instructor was very specific that we should not be wearing masks in the water or we'll end up getting waterboarded. But we will be able to stay 6 feet apart. So what that looks like for me, having that kind of flexibility in order to meet that compromise place with my husband means that a lot of times I have to give up kind of the rigid commitments that I have to how I think things are going to be. Because one of the ways that I get set in my rigidity is that I feel like I'm a woman of the world. I've had a lot of experiences. I know what I like, all of those things. And sometimes I can get so grounded in that and so rigid around that I become unwilling to practice some flexibility and to try something new. So for me, compromise is so much about finding some willingness to try something new, finding some open-mindedness to set aside any prejudice or prejudgment that I have around what the activity is, and really trying to set aside the fear that I have too, because being an indoor cat, I don't do a lot of outdoor cat stuff because I get afraid about all of the things that are outside of my control when we're outdoors, whether that's weather or oh my God, snacks. I get very fearful about whether or not we're gonna have enough snacks, whether or not we're gonna be comfortable enough, whether or not it's gonna be scary. So, in order to really meet my husband where he's at, and in previous lives to meet my, previous metaphorical lives to meet my partner where they're at, I've really had to lean into the flexibility of trying something that I'm a little afraid of in order to meet someone where they're at and engage in a compromise. So it's a little bit of a roundabout way to discuss compromise, but I'm really excited to be back on Loveline at night on Fridays and Saturdays. Tomorrow, I may or may not be here. It really depends on how the whitewater kayaking goes. We're going to be out doing that tomorrow. So if I'm back in time, oh, you know what? I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Loveline at Night is only on Friday this week, so I'm glad that I caught you here. I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll definitely be here next week, and I can't wait to check in with you then. Until then, definitely head over to my website, HeidiBCoaching.com, subscribe to my mailing list so you can get my people-pleasing webinar. Also, if you are looking for some help in your relationship life and you are a woman who has had trouble identifying painful patterns in her relationships, please DM me. I want to help you. I want to help you completely flip the script on what it is that you believe around the accessibility of love and relationships for you. So, can't wait to talk to you soon. Until then, take care. XOXO to the max.